From the campus of Eastern High School in Voorhees, New Jersey, Comcast Sports presents Girls High School Soccer. This afternoon, it's the South Jersey Soccer Coaches Association Girls Senior All-Star Game. Hello again, everyone. Rob Christ along with my partner, Marc Narducci. Cold, crisp, sunny afternoon here at Eastern High School. A great opportunity for these young talents to come and showcase their skills. And Marc, it's a great opportunity not only for them to compete against one another, but to show the local universities their talents.
No question about it, Rob. And actually, in the girls' game, you'll have more players who are already committed to Division I schools than you'll see in the boys. But still, there are a lot up in the air. In fact, one being a local product, Devin Doyle from Gateway, who led South Jersey in scoring with 35 goals. And you're right, a number of college coaches will be here to see these seniors. And that's really the best part about this, other than the fact that this is their final time to play in South Jersey representing their high schools.
Of course, many talented ladies here on tap today, and a few to keep an eye on are from the state championship teams of Bishop Eustace and Lenape.
Yeah, absolutely. Natalia Tarosian, who we saw in the coaches tournament final, just have a dominating performance against Morristown. She's here. This is her final game. Of course, she'll be headed to the University of Florida. You have Sarah Keene, who was a club teammate of Tally's from Bishop Eustace, the goalkeeper. She's headed to the University of West Virginia, and there are a lot of other talented players that we'll be talking about throughout the telecast.
Of course, all of these ladies will be concluding their high school soccer careers. They'd love to end on a win. Stick around. We'll have it for you in just a moment. Welcome back to Eastern High School. We are underway in the 2008 South Jersey Soccer Coaches Association Girls Senior All-Star Game. This is a game made up exclusively of seniors, and of course that is mandated through the state. Going from right to left on your TV screen, the white team, which for today's purposes will be the home team, and quickly they get a push, and no true rhyme or reason necessarily to the makeup of these teams.
No, a couple from the Olympic Conference on both teams. That time you saw that young lady there, Jess Edelman, who had a terrific year for Eastern, almost scored a goal, and Caitlin Doherty, number 14 from Audubon, kept that ball out of there. But Edelman, one of the real veterans on this Eastern team, a team that just missed qualifying for the state tournament, a young team.
It was headed away by Mazzari. You see Edelman retrieving that from the woods. Eastern, of course, one of the true powers in South Jersey girls soccer this year, did not qualify for the playoffs, a relatively young squad.
But it actually won 2 state tournaments before Lenape had its run now of 2 in a row.
And this will miss the keeper. Was originally rostered for the white team.
Yeah, that's Vanessa Haynes, and she's an outstanding player for Delran. Has not made a college commitment yet, but person very, very tough to beat high.
I'll have an opportunity to talk a little bit more about Delran when the boys game is shown. Of course, Delran, the state champion.
Terrific game, yeah. We will get into that. And actually, Lenape playing a terrific state final as well yesterday, beating what I thought was a very, very talented Ridge team, 1-0.
Ridge is one of those schools that here in South Jersey we're not very familiar with, but they are a power in a variety of sports, girls soccer being one of them, and it was a tightly contested game. And of course, Lenape prevailed. They finished up the season undefeated in a tremendous year for that school.
That's a great corner kick. Nobody right there by Edelman. And the thing about Edelman, number 2 for Eastern, that you'll see is she can really strike a ball, Rob. Saw a little bit on that corner, but took a lot of the direct kicks. And
Innes will send it away and headed forward by the white squad. And now rushing onto it and defending the red. Of course, this facility at Eastern High School is made up of field turf, a surface that not all of these girls are necessarily very familiar with. Of course, we mentioned Edelman coming from Eastern. This is her home field.
Well, more and more, though, these young ladies are getting used to turf because there are a few more turf fields out there. Eustis, Washington Township has turf sometimes. And here comes Terosian. Look at her go. She's as fast with the ball as anybody you're going to see in South Jersey.
Up the middle and sent back. And the white team now looking, but the red team will force it forward with Jonas.
Yeah, that's Alexis Tiernan, by the way, playing sweeper back for the white team. We'll talk about her in a few minutes, but the white has gotten some nice runs early on here.
Chelsea Grace. Here's Edelman creating space, a nice little feed, finding Logue.
Of course, I thought Jackie Logue, number 12, who took that shot from Bishop Eustis, was outstanding in the state final. Eustis beating Villa Walsh Academy 1-0 in overtime, and Logue was really all over the field. A prime recruit, she'll be attending Wake Forest University, so South Jersey fans' last chance to see her representing her high school here today.
Of course, she'll have an opportunity to become familiar with Natalie Terosian, who she'll be facing in the ACC. Or the Florida's in the SEC, so
yeah,
that's, I misspoke.
You're thinking Florida State.
I am.
Boy, the white team really working it well together. Nice short pass.
Nice little feed, Edelman right there. Still in the box, Edelman looking to dribble inside, and a soft shot on, and Haynes is equal to it.
Second good defensive play by Caitlin Dowdy from Audubon, number 14. She did just enough to hold her up that time.
And now the red team, who's had the play taken to them here early.
If you notice, you see number 1 in the red there, Natalia Terosian. She'll be on the right flank, the left flank. She moves it around because, you know, she gets marked so much. She's never a steady target. She's always moving around. She can attack effectively from either side, and that's what made her so dangerous this season for Coach Kevin Meader's team.
And of course, as will be the case in college, because of the level of talent on the field here today, she may not see as much space during the season as she may here this afternoon.
Well, I maintain that a person like Terosian might actually be more effective as a goal scorer in college because she's going to have a little more room to operate.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was a nice little two-touch there.
Ball sent on, and that is handled by Sarah Keene.
Nicole Brownell of RV, number 16 for the white, just blocked a ball, or else it could have been they could have sent Terosian in on goal.
Now the white team.
Chelsea Grace is number 3 for Palmyra, Rob, and who we saw down that right flank. She had 27 goals this year. An outstanding finisher. I mean, you're talking Grace with 27 and Devin Doyle with 35, and they're the players playing up top for the white team, along with Edelman. No wonder they've been buzzing around the goal here in the early going.
Again, we can't impress upon the viewers enough that this is an opportunity for many girls to showcase their skills, an opportunity to use this very tape in their recruiting efforts. And again, some of the college coaches that will come out and attend this game.
That was a great block by Jackie Logue, number 12 for the white. Terosian was looking to send one of her teammates in. Logue just getting her leg there and controlling it. And there's Sarah Keene, who's a lot of people think might be one of the best goalies in the state, let alone South Jersey.
Very composed back there for the white team.
Well, she's a great decision maker, and you saw that drop kick that she has, which is another weapon of hers. But the thing about Sarah Keene is, as you look at Haynes punting the ball, and she's got quite a foot. Sarah Keene
I maintain would be a great field player. You watch her, and she's got great footwork, good skills that way. Nice little work here by the red team, huh?
Now the red team making some headway, and again, not a whole lot on that shot. Well, of course, Bishop Eustace, as we mentioned in the Open, state champions, and Marc, you either have to have a great defense, a great goalkeeper, or both to win a state championship.
Well, they had both, and they had the total package. Boy, another play by Dowdy that time, clearing it out.
One of the great things about doing these games, Marc, it's an opportunity for us to kind of reflect on the way the season went for the teams throughout South Jersey. And of course, we did mention Lenape, and I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a better team than Lenape in South Jersey.
Well, or the state. I mean, they're going to end up the #1 team in the state, Rob, and they are ranked 7th right now by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America. So to be in the top 10 nationally, and the thing about them is they went 25-0, and they did it against just a murderous schedule. I mean, they had to beat Cherokee 4 times. And that's a good Cherokee team. Now, it's a Cherokee team that was injured, had some key injuries. Jess Lowinger, one of the players who was out, who was headed to Butler University. She's a terrific player, and that obviously hurt the Chiefs when she got injured. But that's an excellent Cherokee team. To beat that team 4 times, you know, they had to beat Washington Township a couple times.
Perhaps as impressively, Marc, they had to do well in the playoffs without one of their better players in Carolyn Wiley.
Absolutely.
A player who's headed perhaps to Kansas. Already went out to visit the school, and I know that she's just a junior, but again, someone who's being looked at one of the major universities. That indicates what a loss that would be to many lineups, but yet Lenape persevered.
Yeah, they did. She got hurt right after we saw her, Rob, in the coaches tournament. She got hurt in practice and broke her clavicle, but she was one of the best defenders in South Jersey, as you alluded to. And you're right. To lose a tremendous player like that, and to still go on, you know, they gave up just 1 goal in the playoffs, and they played some pretty good teams. I saw that Brick Memorial team that they beat, and that was a very, very good team.
The white team now looking to create and find some open space. Alex Davis out of Morristown. She sends it towards the middle. A little flick. Here's Edelman trying to settle, and the red team will be able to break out.
Wow, Edelman's really been active. It's interesting seeing Alex Davis, who has played all different positions in her career. When her sister got hurt this year, Alex went back and was a sweeper for that Morristown team.
And now the white team looking for seams to exploit in that red defense. Towards the middle. And now right on the doorstep, left footer. Goes a rise shot on, and that will miss, but the white team continues to mount pressure.
Yeah, that was Katina Anthony, #9, who had a terrific year this year for Haddon Township. Was a very, very strong finisher. Anthony had 15 goals this season. Boy, the Hawks have continued to have a very, very talented, competitive program.
All sent forward and now knocked out. That will be a throw-in for the white team. And not surprisingly, Marc, just the level of play here evident, and the skill very evident.
Yeah, it's interesting too, Rob, that we're seeing a lot of nice passing combinations here from, you know, a number of players that have not played together. Those two have. Jackie Lowe going back to Sarah Keene. Look how she works that. As I said, I'm very impressed with her field skills, as well as obviously how she can play keeper.
And Heather Lee out of Cherry Hill West stops the surge, sends it forward, but the white team able to clear out. And again, nice little shield by Devin Doyle out of Gateway. White team going forward. Doyle run off that ball. We mentioned Lenape before. Of course, they did win the South Jersey Coaches Tourney for the 2nd straight year.
mean, you think of what this team accomplished. The coaches tournament 2 years in a row, the state tournament 2 years in a row, you know, playing in Group 4, which is arguably the toughest competition, and you know, 34 straight wins. It's an incredible run by the Indians.
Now Terosian, top of the box. She'll look to do some of her magic. A little flick. Keene reacts. A little deflection off of the white defense. And again, you see some of the athleticism of both Terosian and Keene.
Absolutely. And Terosian, the problem with defending her is, Rob, she can hurt you with her left or her right foot. So you can't play her to one area. And Keene just showing great instincts that time.
Solid defense by Chelsea Morgan out of Winslow to body Grace off of the ball. Here you see Terosian.
See, the defender has to back off because they know she could break her down. You didn't see the deflection, but...
Shot on the score! Jess Edelman. The white team finally finishing one of their opportunities. As we mentioned, Edelman, very familiar with this surface here at Eastern. And she scored many a goal right here. Let's take a look at the goal.
Of course, Edelman actually scored in her final high school game against Cherry Hill East.
White team goal scored by number 2, Jessica Edelman from Eastern High School.
Have
Once again, Edelman scores for the white team.
Well, Edelman was buzzing around the net for quite some time, so.
Corner kick here. Seems to be no ball people running the sidelines.
To reiterate that one.
We'll have that tape for that goal from Jess Edelman momentarily. Now the corner, it looks like Terosian will take it.
Here goes. Who's called?
There's a missed kick right there, and Edelman actually went high to the top, picked it up. The key to that was, Rob, she got it, shot it right away, didn't mess around, didn't wait for anyone to come on her.
Well, Haynes hung out to dry for the red squad. Edelman notching the goal in the 31st minute. And the white team on top 1-0.
Yeah, again, Haynes had no shot at that one. But I'm impressed with the way Grace and Edelman and Devin Doyle have really been working up top there.
Nice little read from the back by the white team's Alexis Tiernan out of Cherokee. And she heads it forward. Tiernan very active back there. You mentioned the talent that Cherokee has boasted. And you just don't hear too much about it because they play in a conference that's seen the state championship won 4 straight years.
Yeah. Because
Lenape and Eastern. Throwing here for the white team.
And all those years, those teams had trouble with Cherokee. Even Lenape this year in the South Jersey Group 4 semifinals, you know, beat the Chiefs 1-0.
And if I'm not mistaken, that was the last team that they trailed. Now Terosian in the box, shot on, and Keene angles up and handles. I should say, of course, they trailed Moorestown, of course, in the coaches.
Well,
that
actually,
we had
no,
here.
to be honest with you, the last time Lenape trailed a game was in the state semis. They were down 1-0 to Brick Memorial, and Katie Duffy, who could not make it here today, she was picked for this game, but had another commitment with lacrosse, actually, where she'll be playing in college. She scored with 5.7 seconds left in the first half. That tied the score. And then the freshman Katie Rigby scored the game winner in the second half. 2-1 win over Brick Memorial. And one of the coldest evenings, Rob, you'll ever find at Neptune High School, or Neptune Memorial Field.
Inside of 27 minutes remaining, the white team on top 1-0. Jess Edelman scoring off of a throw-in that was whiffed on by the red defense. She finished, and that's where we are. Here's Tarosian. Tarosian. And solid defense by Brownell out of RV.
Absolutely. Whenever you get Tarosian one-on-one trying to turn that corner, the last thing you want to do is let her do that with her great speed.
One thing that you see in soccer, which you don't see in a lot of other sports, Mark, is that these girls actually are very familiar with each other, and some of them actually teammates with one another during the club season. Shot on.
Yeah, actually, Tarosian and Sarah Keene are teammates for that Mount Laurel Fire team that won the state tournament last year. I guess it was, what, the U18s? And they're going to make another run at it again this year. Kelly Baker, Cinnaminson taking this corner kick.
Swings it in, and Keene handles. She'll look to quickly outlet. She'll hold and punt it away. Coming up from the back, that's Gabby Magenta out of Haddonfield. Haddonfield, another successful season.
And Magenta was the one that had that game-winning goal, you recall, in that one in the 1-0 South Jersey Group 2 final win over Cinnaminson. By the way, our officials today: Paul Mayovich in the middle, Charlie Ammerman, and Ed Smith, the linesman. And with Paul Mayovich, you generally can hear his calls. Very demonstrative with his calls.
Since we mentioned Group 2 a little bit, talk a little bit about the season there, as now the red team rushing on. You see Amy Bergman. Bergman, a high shot sailing over the net. And, you know, it was a Group 2 final that a lot of people expected between Haddonfield and Cinnaminson, but I think a lot of people expected Cinnaminson to come out on top.
Well, possibly, but one of the things, and Rich McConnell, who's one of the coaches here for Cinnaminson, they were saying that the game had to be played at Haddonfield Scout Field. And if you haven't played there before, it takes a little getting used to there. And I think that was a nice advantage for Glenn Guess's team to be able to play there. And the other thing is, Haddonfield's a team that really came on, Rob, as the season went on.
Red team crosses, top of the box, and getting under that was Mazzari out of West Deptford.
Well, we were talking about Haddonfield, and you saw Natalie Mazzari there, who had a fine year for Coach John Kyle at West Deptford. West Deptford actually beat Haddonfield twice this season. Haddonfield had not lost to a Colonial Conference team in 5 years. But West Deptford and Haddonfield ended up sharing the Colonial Liberty title because West Deptford suffered 2 other Colonial losses.
Of course, there are no tiebreakers. Typically, you'd see head-to-head, maybe at a collegiate level or a professional level, but at the high school level, they share in the championship.
Yeah, just a bit. And they used to be head-to-head in a lot of leagues, but they've gone the other way.
It's kind of the politically correct thing to do, just like Delran yesterday, coming back and tying that and coming away with the state championship because of the tie, as opposed to coming up with a winner.
Well, that's a nice ball by Devin Doyle, who put it on the outside. And here comes Grace.
Looking for space, and handled by the keeper, Haynes out of Delran. Grace and Haynes out of Burlco. What are your thoughts on that, Mark? You saw a great game yesterday in Delran, ending up in a tie. Obviously, both teams have the opportunity to boast that they are state champions, but your thoughts on having an actual state champion?
Well, I like it this way because you hate to see things settled by PKs. You know they have to in the other rounds, but once there's no more reason to advance, I like the co-champs.
Sent out.
I mean, you know, you get 80 minutes, and you get actually 100 minutes to try to settle things. So now field hockey does an interesting thing, Rob, and in the overtime, when they go to the overtime, they go from 11 on 11 to 7 on 7, and it really opens up the field.
Yeah.
But I don't know if soccer purists would go for something like that. But it's interesting to see it. I saw Ocean City and Wall in the state group 3 semis that happened. Wall winning that 2-1 score. But as far as Coach Amps, I mean, and what was good about the Delran game, neither team was playing for a tie. I mean, they were just attacking one another in that 20 minutes of overtime.
Red team, who have been on their heels for the greater part of this afternoon thus far. Approaching 21 minutes remaining in the first half. The white, the strength of the Jess Edelman goal on top 1-0. So you talk about Group 2, we of course skipped Group 3, and I want to remind you that I told you to keep an eye on Seneca.
Yes, you
Group
did.
3.
Yep. Yes, you did. I thought the winner of the opening round Seneca-Shawnee game had a chance to go far. Now, I actually gave Shawnee a good chance in that game, and it was a 1-goal game. But Ron Jensen at Seneca just did a tremendous job this season.
Of course, we talked about that when Morristown was playing Lenape, and a lot of people just kind of assumed that Morristown, be it the tradition or the success that they had this year, were going to be Group 3 champions. But that was a Group 3 that was very, very difficult, Mark.
Well, it was, and obviously, I mean, Seneca beat them in double overtime 2-1, so it was obviously very close. The other thing about Morristown is I wonder, the run that Morristown made in the coaches tournament, and again, being banged up a little bit, I wonder if that finally caught up to Coach Bill Mulvihill's team. But, that's to take nothing away from Seneca. Seneca, you look at the season that Seneca had, Rob. I mean, they lost 5 games. One was to Freehold Borough in the state Group 3 semifinal. 2 of the losses were to Lenape, who we've talked about before. Another one was the Bishop Eustace, who's another state champion, who they also happened to tie. So, I mean, Seneca's one of those teams that was really impressive in the losses, and the other loss was to Paul VI, and then they beat Paul VI in the rematch. So that's quite some team. In fact, as we're talking here, I'm going to be working and having my final top 10. And Seneca had been in there at about 7 in the last one, but the Golden Eagles may be moving up.
Top of the box. And the white team will send it out throwing. Of course, we haven't talked about the last group, that being Group 1 and Gateway. Gateway winning a South Jersey title. And, tremendous season for the Gators.
Absolutely, the first time in school history. And while the South Jersey title gets a lot of attention, and rightly so, how about winning the Colonial Patriot over what I thought, as we talked about, was a very talented Haddon Township team. Gateway winning its 2 South Jersey Group 1 tournament games by a combined total of 9-2, beating Glassboro 6-1 in the final. And Rob ran up against just a really talented Robbinsville team in the state semis.
Yeah, Robbinsville had quite a run, and the score was probably not indicative of the evenness of those two teams, but Robbinsville went on and continued their success.
Well, the thing about Robbinsville is, and by the way, Steve Avitas, who did such a great job, is one of the coaches here today in the All-Star game for Gateway. The thing about Robbinsville, they play in that Colonial Valley Conference, the CVC. They're playing a ton of Group 3 schools and some Group 4s. So they really, and Gateway, and I remember writing this in the preview, Gateway has also played up and played a very very good schedule and had not lost to a Group 1 school all year until that game with Robbinsville.
Well, Robbinsville, for those of you who say, I've never heard of that school, it's a relatively new school, and it's a beautiful campus up there. We actually had an opportunity to go up there a couple of years ago, and again, as you mentioned, they're playing a lot of Group 4 schools in all their sports, and obviously it's paid off.
Third year of a varsity program, and to be able to do what Robbinsville's done, that's a great job.
Edelman again, she cuts it inside, and a nice job by Haynes to elevate.
Well, I'll tell you, Bridget Conley, number 18 at Deptford, just got her foot on that to throw off Edelman's timing just a little bit.
And the white team now in their defensive end, something we haven't seen too much of. In the corner, cut inside. White team with composure, able to send it away. Ogle out of Moorestown.
Yeah, that's Alyssa Ogle, number 14 for the white. Just a tremendous athlete, Rob. She's actually going to Duke University to play lacrosse. As you know, Moorestown, one of the premier lacrosse programs in the country. This year, they've already had 4 Division I commitments for this year's team coming up.
Red team surging, and now we'll have a corner kick. It looks like it's going to be Amy Cobert out of Cinnaminson.
That was pretty good work by Carly Seidel of Winslow Township, number 4 for the Red. Rob, she had a great year, scored a lot of big goals, ended up with 16 goals for the Eagles.
And that goes awry. We'll have a keeper change. Keene will come out. And coming into the game will be Maria Doris, who we've seen previously here on Comcast out of Clearview.
Of course, Doris and her Clearview teammate, Michelle Tumalo, here today. Michelle, number 11 for the white, she's out there. You actually can see the back of her as she's running back there on the screen, but you know, she's going to Syracuse to play lacrosse. Again, one of many South Jersey players who's going to further their careers playing Division I lacrosse.
You saw that in yesterday's Lenape game, right?
Katie Duffy, who scored the game winner, is going to Johns Hopkins.
And these are, you know, you mentioned these schools to play lacrosse: Duke, Syracuse, Johns Hopkins. I mean, we're not talking about run-of-the-mill schools here.
No.
Neither academically nor athletically, specifically in lacrosse.
There's Tori Malpezzi. She's out there, number 5 for Woodstown. I think one of the really top players around. Had 35 goals this year, Rob, and she's just got a booming shot. Very tough in the air. I think the white team's going to have their hands full with her. Another player that has not made a college commitment. There she is there, trapping the ball.
Now here comes the white team once again, unrushing Alexis Tiernan out of Cherokee. Tiernan breaking through the defense, finally run off, and here comes the red team. And a nice little slide tackle there by Ava McEachern out of Paul VI.
By the way, you know, you talked earlier about Group 2. How about the fact that Woodstown had to play Haddonfield in the quarterfinals in Group 2? That shows a little depth there. Remember, those two teams met in the South Jersey final a year ago, Haddonfield winning by a 3-2 score. In this year's game, Rob, it was interesting. Haddonfield got 2 goals in like the first 4 minutes. And that just dictated everything, went on to win the game 4-0.
Red team Looking at Bush. Of course, we detailed the public schools. Let's talk a little bit about the parochials with the private schools. We mentioned Bishop Eustace with a fine season, Mark.
Yeah, Paul Giordano leading them. By the way, if anyone keeps track of these things, Eustace won and has won state titles in even years since 2002. 2002, 4, 6, and this year. I remember telling Paul Giordano that. He says, hey, you're going to jinx us. It didn't really jinx them.
No, it did not. I guess the bad news is it doesn't bode well for next year.
He'll worry about next year.
Eustace, of course, another participant in the Olympic.
You know, it's interesting. They get the game-winning goal from a freshman, Brittany Stone, which obviously bodes well for the future. I mean, Eustace had about 5 or 6 real veteran seniors that, you know, were real leaders on that team, but there's going to be a pretty decent nucleus back there.
Of course, we mentioned the Olympic. You have Lenape and Eustace, both state champions, and Seneca, South Jersey champion.
Well, no surprise. I mean, the Olympic is the Olympic. It's been the premier conference for a long time. Nothing changed. That was an outstanding ball that time by Amy Bergman of Holy Cross. A one-touch out to the flank.
Actually, it's faster than that because we're running time. Right to
The red team has yet to put a tremendous amount of pressure on Kane or Doris. And we mentioned before that Heinous was to be a keeper for this white team. Switched over at the last minute to the red. And she's had the bulk of the activity. We will have a corner kick for the white. See the clock running now inside of 10 minutes remaining in this first half. Well played game. White scoring in the 31st minute. Jess Edelman, Eastern High School. Now the corner.
That's good communication that time by Hannah. She called for that ball, went at it aggressively. She had one of her teammates right there on the post, guarding the post, which is what you do on a corner kick, called it off, so there was no doubt about who would get that. Didn't want her teammate to try to head the ball or do anything like that. It's great communication. And again, for players that really haven't worked together, that's a good job.
White team continues to bottle up the back and really prevent the red with any good opportunities. Playing a little game of catch. White team able to break out of their own end. A little chip forward, nicely done by Wittenberger out of Seneca. And now pushing forward, it's McQuillan from Seneca. Headed up, good opportunity, nice little touch by Grace, running onto it, and a nice read by Heinous.
That's a good hustle too by Melanie Wittenberger, number 5, for the white team. She, that was a balanced scoring team, the Seneca team. She actually led the team with 11 goals this year, but they had a lot of balance. Of course, they were really strong defensively. There you saw Tori Malpezzi get one off. Now, she didn't get all of that and it went wide, but she could be a very dangerous player from say 30 and in, Rob. Of course, Jamie Morgan has just done a great job with that Woodstown program. I mean, year in and year out, that's a very competitive team.
Good pressure put on by the red team, but it will only result in a throw-in for the white.
Of course, there was a young lady, Noelle Kitchen, who was supposed to play in this game, but she got hurt in that Haddonfield game, had an ankle injury.
Kitchen from Woodstown, teammate of Malpezzi. Again, headed away by the red. Good aggressive play by Gabby Magenta.
Now, she was a leader in that Haddonfield team, Rob, but for Haddonfield, a lot of the top players were from that junior class. Kristen Ferguson, Emily Graviak, Kathleen Jordan. So I would expect that Glenn Guess is going to have a very solid team next year. Certainly a preseason top 10 type contender.
And a throw in for the white team.
Tell you what, for an all-star game, I think the play's been crisp here today.
I would agree with you. Tumalo sends it up. And a battle ensues. Nothing doing, and it'll come our way. Throw in for the red team. Nice feed by Malpezzi.
I'll tell you, Malpezzi 5 for the red team from Woodstown. She's a player, Rob, that knows and feels the defense coming on her because she was so tightly marked this year. And I'm really impressed with the way she's one-touching things, getting rid of the ball right away. She's looking to go to the flanks and then cutting inside. So just some great instincts. Ooh, that hurt.
Went off of the face of a red player. And she is shaken up.
Looks like Amy Cobra of Cinnamon.
Here's the tape, Mark.
Here's the analysis. Ouch. That's smart. Ooh.
Hurts all the more on a cold day. Now the red team's starting to mount some pressure. Top of the box and cleaning up is Tumalo. Nice feed. And here comes Grace. Grace run off, maintains possession. Grace will feed Anthony from Haddon Township. Anthony looking for Grace. A little collision there. And it will go out. Corner kick for the white team.
Boy, good play by Dowdy, number 14 for Audubon, staying on that ball. It was a nice give and go. Anthony and Grace. Dowdy just stayed with it. Here it is again, Rob, full speed.
That hurts even more. Oof. Doesn't hurt as much when it's in slow motion. And Haynes plays the whiff.
Luckily she was there because that was a bit of a miss kick, but she was backing up the play.
Just over 4 minutes remain in this first half. South Jersey Soccer Coaches Association All-Star. Here's Grace. Grace breaking in. Ball is still loose. Grace, scramble shot, and just missing. Tremendous individual effort by Grace.
Boy, I've been really impressed with Chelsea Grace here today. You can see why she scored those 27 goals for the Panthers, but that time she just stuck with the play.
Red team.
That was good. That was good talking by the red team. Chelsea Morgan, number 15 for the red from Winslow Township, called for that ball and then was able to clear it out.
Tumalo gets it out of her own end. Ogle. Rushing onto it. It's Kelsey Booth out of Maple Shade. And she'll just let it cross the end line.
Hey, Rob, we have to say, too, the South Jersey Soccer Coaches Association, they just do an outstanding job. They do a lot to promote the sport, to give these youngsters exposure. You know, they run the coaches tournament, which I think is one of the best tournaments in any sport in South Jersey. And you know, so it's all coaches who volunteer their time, and they do an outstanding job.
Great pass to Grace. unable to settle, and the red team comes away with it. What a fine feed. Tiernan. And that's off of a red team player.
I think Tiernan's one of those players that doesn't make a lot of like flashy plays, but just is always in position. Now she started the game at sweep where it looks like they've moved her up a little bit to the midfield right now.
Coming out of the back, and Schmidt out of Seneca. And now an opportunity the other way. Here comes Malpezzi and the red team. Inside of 2 minutes, Malpezzi sends it in, and that's handled by Doris.
See, the other thing is, and again, they're not familiar with one another, you see somebody like Malpezzi on the flank, you've got to go toward the goal. There were no red shirts there. Toward the goal that time. Easy play for Doris.
Red team rushing on. Creating space, long shot, just outside the far post. A tremendous individual effort by Carly Seidel.
Well, what Seidel did, she gave herself a little bit of space with the dribble and then just hammered it that time to the far post.
She had Doris beat, and it just trickled outside that far post. And now we have a minute left in this first half. Head up top, and now Ogle sends it away. And the red team really putting on the pressure here. Tumalo will throw it in for the white.
Yeah, we talked about Seidel. She scored not only 16 goals, but so many big ones. Scored goals in both of Winslow's postseason games. They opened up had an easy win over Pemberton, and then they were eliminated by Morristown 4-2. She had one of the goals there against the Quakers as well. Tell you what, Malpezzi's really been playing well here. That time she shielded the ball, passed it out to the side. Number 5 for Woodstown for the red. She's really been playing well since coming in, which is no surprise, by the way.
That pass goes awry, and that will do it for the first half here from Eastern High School. We're watching the South Jersey Soccer Coaches Association Girls Senior All-Star Game, and the white on top of the red, 1-0.
And welcome back. As you see, the white team leading the red team by a score of 1-0. They're actually playing 45 minutes here in this second half. They cut halftime by 5 minutes and put it on the clock. So Rob, Chris, we have an extra 5 minutes that they're playing because they cut that off of halftime here.
Red team going forward. Now the white will look to break out of their own end.
Let's see if you can know what it's not going to
Actually, I believe the first half was 45 minutes as well. I'm used to the high school rules, but all-star games, they can do whatever they want.
That's right. And now the white again.
Well, again, we have that starting lineup where they have Devin Doyle, 4 of Gateway. Chelsea Grace has been very impressive from Palmyra, and the goal scorer, Jess Edelman of Eastern. Been a very formidable front line for this white team.
Now Terosian will look to settle. Good individual effort by Bergman. Top of the box. Tiernan right there again. She's done a nice job today.
Yeah, she really has. Again, I was talking to her coach, Andy Clapperton, who said she's, has some schools such as Arcadia who's looking at her.
Good individual effort here. Doyle continuing to put on the pressure. And now it's fed in.
Well, Kelsey Booth of Maple Shade, number 18, just got her foot on that, or Doyle would have been going right in on goal that time.
Sent to the middle, a little flick, and the red team looking to create. And this is run off as the red team's Heather Lee mounting that pressure.
Heather Lee, who scored a big goal for Cherry Hill West. Remember, Rob, they were the 13th seed in the Group 4 tournament. She scores the lone goal in a 1-0 win at number 4 Egg Harbor Township. That was a real nice win for Coach Bridget Garrity-Bandle's team.
To the middle.
Baltimore 10, your Eagles 7.
Now again, the red team, good opportunity, a blast, just missing, ticketing the upper left corner.
Well, that was Nicole De Laurentiis, a Gloucester Catholic, and she's just an explosive player, Rob. You remember, she was hurt in the beginning of the season this year, and really wasn't 100% probably till about mid-year. Ended up with 13 goals, but that's an indication of her ability. And of course, she is one of many South Jersey athletes who is headed to the University of West Virginia. She and Sarah Keene, Stephanie Carpenter of Holy Spirit also going there. So the Mountaineers doing a nice job recruiting in the South Jersey area.
Well, again, this gives you some indication of the level of talent that you have here. So many of these girls will go on to play Division I soccer.
You generally see more girls getting Division I soccer scholarships than the guys. I mean, some of that could be, Title IX, where there are more opportunities in the other sports, but a big reason is there's just a lot of talent in South Jersey. So Tiernan will take this goal kick. Again, was very solid at sweeping for Cherokee. We talked about all the injuries they had, and again, just Lowinger, not injured, but she had actually mono, and that really hurt the Chiefs because she's one of the best players in South Jersey.
In the middle, the white team struggling to get it away. De Laurentiis again with an opportunity. Nothing doing, and the white team back on their heels for the first time in some time. Sent forward, still under 40 minutes remaining in this second half. The white team scoring. Interestingly enough, there is a slight breeze, and it is favoring the white team this half. So better offensive opportunities have come against the wing.
I've often said, if you play a style where you're not putting the ball in the air all the time, it shouldn't matter as much if you're going into the win. If you play a game that's predicated on a lot of long balls and everything like that, then it really hurts you going into the win. But if you play a nice possession game, you should be able to play even into the win. And in fact, Lenape did that yesterday, Rob. They went into a very stiff wind in the first half. It was a scoreless first half against Ridge in the state title game, and had some good opportunities, although Ridge did as well.
Looking for Grace, it's headed away, and again, the white team will end up with a throw-in. It'll be Ava McEcker and out Paul VI to throw it in.
By the way, there's a team, Paul VI, that I think is going to be as Paul Mayovich makes the demonstrative call, is going to be a top 10 team. I saw Coach Keith Walters here this year, and that is a team. I mean, they'll miss McEachern, but they have some tremendous young players. Becky Sparks, a junior midfielder, Rob, just a real force. They had a great freshman class. So I expect Paul VI to be a very good team. next year in South Jersey. Not that they weren't this year. They were in the top 10 a lot of the year.
Headed in, great little play, and Bergman right there. But equal to the task was Doris. Bergman out of Holy Cross, testing the Clearview keeper. And again, Doris positioned perfectly.
Well, that was Doris just playing the angle, just as you described it, Rob. She was right there on that post.
White team again, shot on, and that squirts through. Edelman looking for her second of the afternoon. She has been very active today.
Great pass by Masseri of West Deptford. Bergman right there. There you see Doris that time, right there in great position that time, but Natalie Masseri making a good pass. That's something that shouldn't surprise us. She had a lot of clutch plays this year for Coach Cobb's team.
White squad trying to string some passes together and go forward. They do. Here's Edelman. Edelman creating space. Now rushing on the white team in the box. Doyle yields, and the red team takes it away.
That's a great defensive play by Heather Lee. Came a long way back and stayed on that, and then cleared it away for the red.
Here's Edelman.
Again, she's got the goal here today. Ball just gets by.
Now Doyle. Doyle cuts it inside to the middle. Good look. Left foot. Shot. Handled. Heinous.
You know what I like about Doyle? Doyle will make one or two moves and then get rid of the ball. A lot of times forwards kind of fool around with that ball a little bit too much. She'll make the one or two dribbles, get rid of it, and then go to the open area. Very, very intelligent. Guess McQuillan right there for Seneca, number 7 in the white.
Even the Geckerns had about 8 throw-ins in the last 2 minutes. They may have to go to the bullpens. Sent out to the wing. Long shot to the middle. A little flick. And again, Doyle goes down. It's going to go against the red, so it's be a good opportunity for the white team.
Yeah, that was a trip that time on Masseri of West Deptford, and Doyle actually sold it pretty well there that time.
This will be McEachern out of Paul VI.
Everyone lining up at that far post.
Sent in. Red team able to defend. Now, the white team push, shot, and just missing again. The white team has had some great opportunities.
Was that Chelsea Grace? I was screened on that.
Now she's playing offense.
Boy, the white team keeps peppering the goal. Haynes has been very busy back there.
You know, you always talk about how dangerous Terosian is. One way to make sure she's not dangerous is just stay in that offensive end. White team, Grace. Grace sends it wide. And now it's ruled a deflection.
Edelman, who does a good job in these corners.
Swings it in, far post, headed down, shot, score! Off of the rebound.
Good job, Bill. You made it for some goal. All right.
That all started on the corner kick of Edelman. And then the white team able to convert. And they are now up 2-0. A little scramble ensued. And again, because of that, the white team's Jess McQuillan from Seneca cashed in.
What we said about Edelman on the corner. And
ball scored by number 7, Seneca High School, Jess McQuillan. Once again from Seneca, Jess McQuillan for the white team.
Let's bring it back bad memories.
Drawn for the red. They're going to have to put together a little bit more offensive thrust in order to get back into this one. Almost as if the field has been tilted
I remember that name.
throughout the afternoon for the white.
By the way, I was talking about Paul VI with the freshmen, Brittany Radcliffe, Lauren Riley, a young team. Again, I was just finishing that thought, Rob. It was going to be a very, very good team next season. Of course, McQuillan knows a little something about scoring big goals. She had one in that 2-1 overtime win over Morristown.
Red team now flicked up and nobody there. That all started with a nice play by Massari out of West Deptford.
She had the big one in that win over Morristown in the South Jersey Group 3 semis. Then, of course, Seneca beating Lacey the next game.
I shot the guy.
Again, the red team looking to create. Still plenty of time in this one. 31+ minutes in this second half. Red team scoring in the first half, Edelman. And in the second half, McQuillan. Looking to create. That's Baker from Cinnaminson. Trojan will throw it in.
That bordered on almost a foul throw, but in All-Star game, they might let it go a little bit.
Trojan out there, big smile. You can see she's kind of soaking up this opportunity to finish up her fine career at Lenape.
She had 17 assists this year. And keep in mind, Rob, Lenape wasn't a team as good as they were. They didn't blow people out. They quite a few like 1-0 games, 1-goal games. They just did what it took to win, and that's, wow, there's Jackie Logue with a great run.
Now, nice little give and go. Logue once again. Chipped far side, too strong, but Edelman and Logue. The wind's starting to pick up here at Eastern.
It's interesting because in this sequence right now, it looks like Logue's playing back as a defender. She's obviously a midfielder for Bishop Eustace, but just has so much versatility to her game.
Red team, here's Tarosian. Tarosian, a little flick, and sent forward by the red. Headed back for a pinball, and the white team will come away with it. Fed, and going, it's McKecker. McKecker cut it towards the middle. And coming on, it's Heinous running off Grace.
It's a nice job by Hannah. She called for that ball, got off her line very quickly, and really had to because there were some white shirts around.
Now Tarosian. Tarosian feeds. It's De Laurentiis, and the white team able to get it right back. There's Brownell from RV.
Boy, Brownell, number 16 for the white team, who you just called, has just made a lot of solid plays here today.
Ball sent out. White team will come onto it. Jackie Logue out of Bishop Eustace underneath the pine trees. Talked about the other parochial in reviewing the season, Gloucester Catholic, who once again had another tremendous season. Both of their co-coaches here, Keen Ormsby and Courtney White, we had an opportunity to see them against Ocean City, their home field in Glassboro, on Comcast.
Yeah, lost to Red Bank in the tournament. by a 1-0 score, and it's interesting. I actually saw Red Bank play a little bit in the state final against Immaculate Heart, and Immaculate Heart pretty much dominated things in that game. But this is a Gloucester Catholic team that I think is going to be right up there next year, Rob. They certainly have one of the best juniors in South Jersey, if not statewide, in Chelsea Duffy, the outstanding midfielder. I mean, they're going to miss veterans like De Laurentiis, but I think this is going to be a team that's certainly going to make a run at the #1 spot in South Jersey next year.
Erosion. With space.
You know, she put it out there and everything, but there was some room to go in on goal that time. Maybe a little too unselfish by Erosion, and maybe turn it up and go right in on the goal.
We've talked about that before when we did the coaches tournament, just about the unselfishness of Erosion. And of course, that's illustrated through her 17 assists.
I've been around very few people who could care less about numbers than Erosion. Probably doesn't even know how many goals she scored this year. You know, she's just one of these people that's all about winning.
She's certainly done that. White team.
Hey, that's a nice job there. Again, Nicole Brownell, 16, running through that ball, but not obstructing, letting it go out and getting the goal kick for the white team. That's an outstanding play. Been very impressed with Brownell here today.
Now the red team, a bit of an opportunity. Logue flicks it away. Here's Erosion. Erosion, left foot pass. Looking for space. Shot. Score! Tremendous shot by Kelly Baker out of Cinnaminson. And again, it all starts with Erosion.
Ready for the big steak. I taught Elizabeth for years, too.
2-1, we have ourselves a soccer game.
Red team goal scored by number 12 from Cinnaminson, Kelly Baker. Once again,
Boy, that was a
Baker from
blast that
Cinnaminson.
time by Baker.
Did a tremendous job just kind of shielding the defending, turning and blasting it.
He also saw you've seen some better ball work by the Red now. I mean, De Laurentiis and Erosion working it well together, and the Red continues to put pressure. But that was a great shot.
Now the white.
Hey, Rob, you know, traditionally they have played this game the night before Thanksgiving, and I'd like it on the Sunday before. I know maybe there's some conflicts with club soccer, but you're always going to find conflicts with club soccer. But I like it playing here, and I like playing it in the daytime. I think nighttime soccer in November can get pretty chilly.
Well, our director, Stan Ritter, makes a great point, Mark. Game 2, immediately following this one, will pit the boys against one another, and I'm not sure you're going to like that too much. It's going to be a little bit colder.
Well, I'll start at 4 o'clock. I don't consider that night. Believe me, they had to get a shot of us.
I can vouch, Mark, for you in terms of you being out in the cold weather. I mean, you're a little bit more hardy than I am. Yesterday we did the Paulsboro-Glassboro game, and I was not out anywhere near as long. Now's the scrum in the middle, anywhere near as long as some of our crew. But it was cold just doing the post-game interviews, and of course now we're here in the elements and it's much colder. But I frankly used to like it at Kingsway where we were in the press box.
Well, I'll tell you what, this week I've been in a lot of unheated press boxes, and this just in, it's cold in them too.
No, they wanted $2,000 to run cable down my driveway.
Good job by the white defense here, Tiernan and spreading it out.
Throw in here for the white team. You're going to see Brownell, who's had a tremendous afternoon. We've spoken about Marc. Now sent to the middle and running onto it. It's Grace. Grace. I believe that's going to be a corner due to the hustle of Grace.
It should be, and again, Grace getting to that ball. Chelsea Morgan of Winslow kept with her, and again, didn't let her turn that corner, but still, Grace doing an excellent job. And Edelman, again, with these corner kicks, has really been serving them up with that left foot of hers. The far post got the assist on that second goal.
Again.
That's a great kick that time, just a little too high, but boy, Edelman does a nice job on those corner kicks. Does a nice job anywhere, and as we have not seen her, as I said before, Rob, we have not seen her take like a direct kick, say from 20 yards out, but she can really blast it.
Wholesale changes for both the red and the white team, and you know, Marc, that's something that a lot of times is overlooked, to have a weapon who just specializes in corners. Not to mention throw-ins, particularly when it's on a thinner field.
Yeah, hi.
Out to the flank, and here comes the white team.
Hey, good job by the white, spacing things out. Now that was passed in traffic.
Upside down in the closet.
Despite the wholesale changes, Baker, the goal scorer for Cinnaminson, from Cinnaminson, remains. Good job by the white team's Kelsey Booth out of Maple Shade, composed, and starts the rush. There's Doyle. She'll hand it off to Tumalo. Long throw in, headed down, and again Doyle. There's Doyle, nice little move. Doyle's done a nice job. She's obviously very athletic, but she's not afraid to use her body as well.
No, I've really been impressed with Doyle's decision making too. Has not held on to the ball long. Again, most good, successful forwards won't, Rob, because they know that the defense is converging on them. They don't have a whole lot of time. But what I like about her is she moves very well without the ball, gives it up, gets in open space.
Now, the red team trying to disrupt. And a good job here by Seidel. Now Pezzi. Pezzi. It's the white team that comes away with it. Again, not that much space to operate, and the white team will work off of the turnover.
I think the Reds been a little energized by that goal, don't you?
I agree. There's Tumalo. Serves it in. Finds Edelman. Edelman feeds a little bit too strong. Looked like she was trying to find Schmidt.
It's a nice idea, but I think if Edelman would have taken an extra look, she actually could have maybe taken that shot that time.
Now the red team biding their time, working their way out.
Boy, Baker's been all over the place, hasn't she?
A nice little play by Baker. And a give and go now Baker. Deft touch passing by Baker leads the rush. Nice feed, ruled on sides. Malpezzi, left foot, and she would have been better suited to maybe settle a little bit and get something behind that.
Again, as we said before, so used to having so many people on her, getting rid of it quickly.
Little chip in, Tumalo stops it, and Malpezzi. Again, Malpezzi working through that white defense. Far flank. Doyle and Cobert converge. Throw in for Cobert and the red. Now the white team Sends it out.
It's a nice job by Kelsey Booth, number 18 in Maple Shade.
Well, Mark, you mentioned a little bit about Gloucester Catholic next year. Before we talk a little bit about next year, big surprise team this year, Mark.
I think it was Seneca. I know maybe it was a bad job by me. It probably was not ranking them in the preseason, but I think Seneca did an outstanding job this year. And, you know, winning South Jersey Group 3, we talked about, as we see the offsides there. You know, we talked about the losses. I mean, 2 to Lenape, 1 to Freehold Borough, 1 to Eustis, and who they tied. I mean, so I think that would be to me one of the real surprises this year.
You mentioned before Duffy from Gloucester Catholic, one of the players to look to next year to lead the way in South Jersey and her Gloucester Catholic Rams. Anybody else that stands out to you?
Lenape's junior midfielder, Chelsea Cannon, is a player that didn't get a lot of, maybe a lot of publicity because they were such a balanced team, but she'll be a truly fine player. There's a young lady who I saw down in Egg Harbor Township, Kate Lindacker, who's a junior forward who, again, she had 26 goals this year, and I think that she's going to make a lot of noise as Sarah King comes back into the goal for the white team. I talked about the 2 freshmen from Paul VI, Lauren Riley and Brittany Radcliffe. I think a year in high school soccer, they're going to come on strong and really do a good job. And I know I'm leaving plenty out, believe me, but that's just off the top of my head. I think it's going to be another really good year in South Jersey. It's funny, I was talking to Kevin Meter, the coach of Lenape, who's one of the all-star coaches here. People were saying in the preseason that this might be a down year for South Jersey. I didn't think that at all, Rob. I thought the teams and the players were both very good this year in South Jersey. I thought there was a lot of depth to the talent.
Well, I think no better indication of that than what you talked about before. Lenape, one of the top teams nationally. Long shot, tipped up and score. Haynes unable to handle the shot from McQuillan. And McQuillan with 2 on the afternoon. So Haynes was squared up. And again, not to make excuses, but it's a little bit tougher on these cold days. Ball's typically a little bit slicker. Fed towards the middle. There's Baker. She's run off. But getting back to what we were discussing, Mark, you know, no better indication of that than Lenape, who's nationally ranked. And as you mentioned, they weren't blowing teams out. So that speaks to, you know, the depth here in South Jersey.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And it's funny, too, because they're the type of team, like when they get up 1-0, they wouldn't sit on it either. So it wasn't like they did that. It's just that they had a lot of maybe 1-0 games where they were pretty much controlling play too. So you can't always just look at the score.
Now we look ahead to next year, Mark. I say it should be another fine year for South Jersey. Talk about maybe some of the teams to look to lead the way. Obviously, Lenape, despite losing Terosian and a couple of other fine seniors that you mentioned before, of course, one of which is Katie Duffy. And
Kaylee Menser, a very underrated sweeper. They're going to really miss her as well.
And Zeman, their keeper.
Yep, Sarah Zeman. So, I mean, they have a lot. They have some positions to fill, obviously, but and we talk about good young players. How about Katie Rigby as a freshman, led the team in scoring with 13 goals. So they're going to be tough there.
Let's take a look at this goal from McQuillan.
cut it back there. Excellent job. And then with the left foot. Wow. And there you see Haynes, and Haynes knows that maybe, hey, I could have gotten that one.
I think that's a case where she wasn't sure whether she wanted to just tip it over the net or come down with it. And the jump may have been just ever so slightly mistimed. Here's Tumalo. Tumalo, a flick, looking for Logue. Logue, oh, just missing the short side. Nice little playmaking by Tumalo to find Logue.
And Bridget Conley of Thetford, number 18, following the play and chasing in there. All right, again, that's a great flick by Tumalo. Logue trying to get her foot on it. Gets it, but not enough.
And she wanted to get that because Connolly, she had waited, Connolly would have closed off that angle. So she tried to get as much as she could on that shot. Had she waited, Connolly probably would have interrupted that opportunity. And here's McQuillan looking for a hat trick. Instead, she'll feed. Nice little pass now, Tumalo. Tumalo leaves it, shot, and that'll miss, but a good opportunity there for Crane. Some playmaking again by the white team.
I think one thing, Rob, when you look at the top teams for next year, a lot of them are going to look the same from this year. You know, we talked about Leonard being Ulster Catholic. I think Morristown's going to be, you know, right up there again.
You spoke about the depth that Haddonfield has.
I think Haddonfield, and I really do think that Paul VI is going to be a team that everybody has to watch out for.
This is a good job here by the white team, just kind of biding some time. That's Lindsay Schmidt out of Seneca.
Remember, people forget Paul VI this year defeated Bishop Eustace. And remember, it was a 3-2 game, and Eustace actually was up 2-0, and Paul VI came back to win. So, and then the Eagles beat the #1 seed in South Jersey non-public A, Monsignor Donovan, 3-2. So I know sometimes those seeds can be misleading, but that's still a pretty good job. Oh, yeah, we just saw the foot of Sarah Keene. That's the other thing. You know, you think of keepers as just being able to punt, but she could take goal kicks. She's got an explosive foot.
The third white team goal was scored by number 7, Jess McQuillan from Seneca, her second of the day. McQuillan from Seneca scored for the white team.
Here's McQuillan again. And now, long ball, and Haynes will handle. You can see Nicole Brownell kind of shielding the sun as that ball coming right out of the sun. Tough to pick up. Here's Bergman. She settles. Bergman with space. Sends it forward. And right there, it's the white team. Giving right back. That's Breanne Lewis out of Clayton. And a little miscommunication. Keene on her mark. And we're now inside of 9 minutes with the white team up 3-1.
I think it's safe to say Keene is one of the better keepers that South Jersey has probably ever seen. I mean, she's technically sound. We said she has great ball skills. I think if she was a field player, she'd be tough. She has great anticipation.
Excellent size.
And a tremendous foot. I mean, it's a lot to like about Keene's game. Of course, her father is her club coach and been coaching her for a long time.
Keene handles, and she'll look to distribute.
And I like that drop kick. You see how a lot of times when you punt, it just goes so high, and you don't get it really to a teammate. When you drop kick it, you can get it there quicker. I'm a big proponent in that.
Nice little give and go. Logue finding Wittenberger. White team will throw it in.
Boy, Conley again, another nice defensive play, 18 for the Red from Thetford. Of course, what a battle this year in that Trico Royal, Rob, with Clearview winning out. Williamstown and Deptford made it a battle for a while, but the Pioneers ended up winning it.
The red team will break out. Opportunity here, Carly Seidel. Rush it through that defense, beating Ogle. Seidel, left foot, chip, and Keene, knowing her positioning quite well, allows that to go wide.
Very impressed with Seidel here today. Has a real explosion to her game. You saw that time. Very, very quick with the ball.
And push.
Yeah, it happened right in front of Paul Mayovich.
It wasn't subtle either, so that didn't help.
Well, he's not subtle either with his calls. So.
Sent in a flick. And that will find its way wide. 6 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. 3-1. Edelman and McQuillan with 2 for the white team. Baker, the lone goal scorer for Cinnaminson. Here's a shot, and Keene handles. Keene now, quick distribute to Tumalo. Tumalo sends it towards the middle. Through ball, Grace. And a nice little slide tackle by Bridget Connolly.
Again, Rob, I've said it earlier, I'm impressed by how these youngsters who come together from different teams, that's why they're all-stars, by the way, have been able to play so well together here today.
Great team. Now here's McQuillan. McQuillan pushing. McQuillan will yield. You know, of course, we really shouldn't be any surprise when we talk about the talent here in South Jersey soccer-wise. We just need to go back to the summertime and Carly Lloyd scoring the winning goal in the gold medal game out of Delran.
Carly Lloyd's just not only a great player, but just a great ambassador for this game. Just a terrific person. And, you know, that couldn't happen. It couldn't have happened to a better person having that kind of success.
Delran is just a school that has oozed soccer tradition in South Jersey. Of course, Peter Vermes, also an Olympian coming out of Delran. They certainly have had their success through the years.
Carly Lloyd, when I saw her in Delran, Rob, she could strike a ball better than anyone, and that includes any of the boys. I just never saw someone that could strike a ball like she could and have the force that she had on.
White team again looking to add to their lead. And in the middle, Grace trying to head it down. And now Tumlo seeing that Haynes was off her mark, trying for a long shot. And that goes just a...
Well, Amy Coburn, number 11 of Cinnaminson, saved the goal. There's no question about it, backing up the play that time.
Heading towards the 3-minute mark remaining. And if the red team has any hopes of tying it, they're going to have to do so very quickly.
You know what else was good about this game? A lot of the youngsters are out there. I mean, they're competing hard, but they're smiling. They're having a good time. And that, you know, that's kind of what this is all about, because it's a reward for the excellence that they've shown this season.
Red team will throw it in. Settled. And they'll look to go forward. Long ball trying to find Malpezzi. She looks to settle, but Tumlo takes it, and the red team takes it right on back. Lewis. And the white team with time. Taken back, it's Lewis. Now Tumalo, easy to spot with those bright green shoes. Long ball in, here's trouble, and a good play by Haynes to read it. Headed forward, Grace looking to settle. Cuts it inside, Grace, and run off the ball nicely. But Grace with her hustle will get back to it. Corner kick for Grace and the white team.
That's Caitlin Dowdy, though, again, running back on the play. She's made a number of excellent defensive plays here today.
And Haynes has it squirt through, but able to fall on top of it.
Haynes started the day as one of 3 goalies for the white team, ended up being the lone goalie for the red team. Been very busy.
Nice little switch, trying to find Tumalo, as now we have a minute remaining. Tiernan will push to the middle, finds McQuillan. She'd love to have the hat trick. Denied by the red team, and they'll will now try to double the total. Here's Bergman, easy to spot with the white ski cap. Sent out, miscommunication. Ogle will throw it in. Maybe one last opportunity for a rush. McQuillan yields. And throw in red. That will likely do it, as the red team will probably not even get an opportunity to throw this in before the game ends. They do not, and that'll do it. The white team victorious here today by the score of 3-1. McQuillan with a pair of goals, Edelman with a goal and an assist, and again, the winner here is all of these young ladies. Stick around, we'll have post-game interviews in a wrap in just a moment. Welcome back to Eastern High School. The white team victorious 3-1 in the South Jersey Soccer Coaches Association Senior Girls All-Star Game here with Jess Edelman. And Jess, of course, with a goal and assist today. You scored that first goal. Talk about what it means to you to have an opportunity to play in this game as a Senior All-Star.
It felt really good just to play one last time here, and without, I know a lot of the girls, so it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Of course, this has to be fulfilling. You know, you come from an Eastern program that has tremendous amount of success this year. Did not qualify for the playoffs, but a great opportunity for you here to play in this All-Star game and lead the team with a goal and assist, leading the way with that first goal. Talk about, the opportunity here to play with the girls with so much ability and so much talent.
Yeah, it was an honor. I play with a bunch of them on my club team, and it was just really cool playing at Eastern one last time, and it's sad, but no, it was a lot of fun.
Well, again, I wish you the best of luck in school, and our own Marc Narducci has another player of the game.
All right, Rob, thank you very much. A young lady who scored 2 goals today, Jess McQuillan of Seneca. First of all, tell us how it felt to be in this All-Star game and to get the 2 goals out here today.
It was unexpected. It was a lot of fun. It was fun being on the field again. It was a good time.
You seem like you have a big fan section here. Tell me one other thing. Great year for Seneca. You win the South Jersey Group 3 championship. You had the game-winning goal against Morristown in the semifinals. Tell me what it was like playing on this team this year, and I'm sure you're going to miss it.
It was actually one of the best experiences I've ever had. I love everyone on my team. It was upsetting that we didn't win it all, but we came pretty far, and it was a lot of fun.
All right, well, congratulations concluding it this way with 2 goals. Jess McQuillan, the 2 Jesses. You hear that fan club in the background, Rob. She has her fans there, but you get a player like Jess who had a great year this year, 13 assists for the team, but wasn't a big goal scorer, and then gets 2 today, and obviously is going to help her stock. She has not made a college decision. Game like this won't hurt her.
Absolutely, and Jess Edelman, who I spoke to off camera, is likely headed to Virginia Wesleyan. She said they are here today, and again, this is just one of the many reasons why this is a great little function for the ladies.
Absolutely. Crisply played game. We saw a lot of talent here, and I think that it's a great way to end some great careers for these young ladies in South Jersey.
Once again, the final score, the white team victorious 3-1 over the red in the South Jersey Soccer Coaches Association Girls Senior All-Star Game. For my partner, Marc Narducci, my director, Stan Ritter, and all the crew, I'm Rob Chris. Thanks for joining us. Good night, everybody.